We are things I found online, where radio legends are exploring the internet today. Live in the studio, this beachhead has been invaded by the BTS Army. What about it? Let's go. Woo! Do you guys have like a war chant? A rebel yell? Or?
Not really.
I don't know.
All right. All right, we'll get to that. So please introduce yourselves.
Hi, I'm Rita Dunnan, and I'm part of the BTS Army. Woo.
Faith?
Hi, I'm Faith Pasquale, and I've been a part of the BTS Army since their debut.
Hi, I'm Tara, and I have no idea what the BTS
All right,
Army
but are you
is.
here to learn?
Yes.
Are you here to enlist?
Please teach me, because this is such a huge thing that I have no idea like what anything is. So
Yeah.
You're here to learn. Aaron, are you here to learn?
Yes, I'm here to learn. Please tell me all about this.
All right. So we're here to recruit too, because BTS Army is like the few, the proud, no, the many, the strong, the
Backstreet Girl.
Oh, she's a big back.
Ooh.
See, so the boy band wars are on.
Yeah.
All right, excellent. Are you guys BTS Army? Are you willing to learn about Backstreet Boys?
Yeah, of
Yeah, I
course.
know a little bit from my sister,
It's all
too.
about love here, so.
It's all about love. I love that, Rita. Okay, so Battle Stations, the BTS Army is storming the podcast. What is BTS? More accurately, who are BTS? They are Bangtan Boys, Bulletproof Boy Scouts in Korean. The name was conceptualized with the thought that BTS would block out stereotypes, criticisms, and expectations that aim at adolescents like bullets and protect the values and ideals of today's adolescents. 7 members strong, BTS is RM, Jin, Suga, J-Hope, V, Jimin, and Jungkook. How did I do?
Good.
So far, so good. Combining love ballads and rap with topical lyrics, BTS connects with fans their own age, and they have set themselves apart from the K-pop industrial machine. Greetings and thank you for being here. Can you each say hi?
Yes.
I think you just did.
Hello.
Yeah, dude.
All right, Rita, who can explain the K-pop industrial machine? Historically speaking, what do we have going on here in South Korea?
Well, I can just explain the process of becoming an idol a little bit. So basically, these big companies, they'll hold these auditions. So you would audition for one of these companies, and if you pass the audition, you get signed up with an agency, and you sign a contract, and you become a trainee. And so the trainee process, it can last as long as 5 to 10 years. It can be really long, and the schedule is there's a lot to it. You do like singing, dancing, acting lessons, as well as possibly language lessons, and it's really hard because a lot of the trainees are also in school, so they have to figure out, trying to balance between their school schedule as well as being a trainee. And then at a certain point, the company decides if you're ready, if you're prepared to go on to the next level, they'll pick and choose like which group you'll be a part of, and then you'll make your debut. Yeah.
Okay, excellent. So what are some of the groups that have emerged out of that system?
Some groups that emerged out of the system. Well, there's 3 really big companies. There's YG, there's JYP, and there's SM. A lot of groups have come out of it, like GOT7, NCT, EXO, Red Velvet, Big Bang.
I feel like most of them have probably come out of these systems.
Yeah, a lot of them have come
Yeah.
to these systems. There's not too many, or at least it's much harder and much difficult if you don't come from these 3 big companies. So that's why BTS is really extraordinary, and a lot of people root for them because Big Hit is not as well known. And actually, little known fact, their manager, Bang Si-hyuk, I hope I'm saying that right, their manager and the CEO of the company Big Hit, he actually worked for JYP, one of the big companies, and then he decided to create his own company.
And Aaron, what were you telling me that you had read about the Korean government investing money in the arts as one of their possibly more viable exports?
Yeah, I guess basically back in the 90s, like the South Korean economy was really hurting, and so the then president decided to take about 1% of the budget and exclusively kind of funnel it into like the culture industry. So the government gives these production companies, these K-pop production companies, like big subsidies and tax cuts, and as well as some other different kinds of like cultural, Korean cultural things like K-dramas, which are like a big kind of soap opera type thing, I guess, that is produced from South Korea. So, and apparently that's been like a big thing for the success of the Korean economy. They're like number 12 in the world as far as GDP now. Mm-hmm. So like, for every 1 unit, let's say, that they put into the culture industry, they get about 4 times as much back.
Oh, that's really interesting. And now when you have BTS like really breaking through and becoming popular in America? Is that like the golden ticket is to like break through? Like the Beatles, I know that they felt really, really popular, but until they were popular in America, they really felt like they hadn't really achieved their ultimate. So is it the same for K-pop? They really wanted that American success?
I guess it is in a way. Now, because prior, like I want to say 2014 and prior, their main goal was to go to China because China brings in a lot of money. But China's government kind of got mad that K-pop was taking all their money, so they kind of banned K-pop from their to perform in their country. So and they're already big in Japan because they do their Japanese debuts and stuff. So I guess the next big country that will bring in a lot of money is America. As of right now, I don't know if China is going to open their doors again because it's always changing.
And you do have the whole rest of the world.
Yeah.
So and it looks like how is BTS working their way around the world in terms of popularity?
Yeah, I think they've already kind of achieved that.
They have
gained international success.
Okay, really interesting. So now we're going to go into each member. So I want to open with this YouTube that I believe Faith sent to me. And this is back in 2013 where each of the kids was introducing himself. Do you have that for us?
Bonjour. 私は B. Okay. Danke. Bye.
Okay, nice. This is me. Bonjour.
What's up, everybody? This is Rap Monster. Hello.
Oh, yeah, Rap Monster. This is Rap Monster. Hello.
Oh, my name is Jimin. Oh, Jimin.
Jimin. Jimin. Nice to meet you.
Hello, my name is Jungkook. I'm done.
Jungkook. Jungkook, man.
Jungkook.
Jungkook.
Yeah, Jungkook.
Jungkook. Heaven. Okay. Hello. My name is Suga. Hello. Sugar. Wow, say hello 2 times in one answer. Wow. Sugar.
Hello,
Sugar.
my name is Jin. I'm oldest brother.
Whoa.
Thank you.
Jin. Yeah. Devil Jin.
Hi, my name is J-Hope.
Devil Jin. No, no.
J-Hope. Oh, J-Hope.
J-Hope.
I'm your hope.
Yeah.
I'm your engine.
It's my hope. It's my hope. It's my hope.
Are we out of kids? Okay, that was a lot of kids. Okay, describe and explain their names, their personalities. I want to know more about them, and then you can click on that next link, Lane, because we have individual photos of each guy. So I want to learn more about them.
Well, I guess I can kind of briefly explain just like their position on the team in general. So BTS, it consists of 3 rappers and 4 vocalists. So the 3 rappers are RM, or also known as Rap Monster, but he changed it to RM, and he's the leader of the group. And then there's Suga, he's also one of the rappers, and J-Hope. And then there are 4 vocalists, so Jimin, Jungkook, V, and Jimin.
And they're all really good
Or
dancers.
Jin? Did I say it?
Yeah, I think you left out. I think
Jimin, Jin, Jungkook,
and
V.
Jungkook
Got
is
it.
also like a sub rapper too. For certain songs, he does rap.
And so what do you guys know about their individual personalities?
It's kind of hard to explain because they're so different from their stage persona to their like regular like off camera kind of persona that it's almost like day and night with the differences. Like on stage, like RM can be like almost scary in a way. But then, like, off camera, he's, like, one of, like, the nicest leaders there is.
Yeah.
Same with, like, other people. I would say that the one that's closest to his regular personality on stage is Jungkook. Because he seems... I don't think, like, he has, like, that much of a stage presence. Well, his stage presence isn't different. And then Jimin, too, like, on stage, he's, like, more like the sexy member. But then off stage, he's, like, quiet, kind of, like, shy about, like, himself. And don't know. Can you do the rest, or do you want me to continue?
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't want to like sum it up in like 1 word, 2 words, because you can't do that with like anyone.
Yeah,
but
J-Hope is a little bit different too, but he's still somewhat the same. Like on stage, he can change from being like almost like Rapmon, where it's so different because like on stage, you know, J-Hope can be like tough, almost like that like atypical rapper image. But then, like, off stage, he's, like, the happiest person, like his name entails, J-Hope. That's kind of why he chose that stage name, too. Because,
do you have a favorite?
No. But I do, like, care about one member a little bit more than the rest. Is Jimin.
Jimin, okay.
And I also, like, care a little bit about V, too. Like
Yeah.
I'm like watching them, like making sure that they're healthy and stuff.
It's good that you look out. Okay.
Yeah, the same is for me. I don't really have a favorite. Initially, it was RM, and then it changed to Jungkook, and then it changed to Jin, and then Jimin comes by and he wrecks me all the time. So yeah, it really just like depends on the month, maybe even the day.
So my goal, you guys, is like by the end of this show that I will have a favorite BTS once I learn more about them, because I really need to have a favorite. Except for the Bee Gees, I never was able really to pick a favorite. Aaron, do you have a favorite yet?
I am kind of partial to J-Hope. I was just listening to his song Daydream, which I looked it up and I realized I'd heard it before, which kind of shows how popular this music is. He's cute.
J-Hope is pretty dreamy. Tara, favorite?
I'm still trying to figure all this stuff out.
Okay, here we
My
go.
mind
All
is
right,
going
we're on a
crazy.
ride. We're on a ride. You just hang on.
Okay.
How well do they get along?
They get along really well. Something that I really like about this group, and I see this a lot in K-pop groups in general that I don't really see with American artists, and there's not a lot of groups in America in general, is that you can tell that they're very close with each other. They spend so much time with one another.
Because I think it has to do with the fact that while they're trainees, they're put in a dorm. So in the beginning, there might be like differences, and then they're put in that situation where they do have to work it out so that they can be civil with each other. And then in turn, living together that many years, they become really close, like almost like family.
Yeah, it's kind of like the same thing with me and my husband. Like, we were put together, and now we just really have, we've had to really learn to appreciate each other's uniqueness. And you can put this window like a little bit open, and once you're under the covers, you won't be that cold. Like, I've learned that. I'm sure they learned the same. I feel very close to them right now. Do you hear any gossip about personal lives? Because I did a little digging about BTS personal lives and whatever, and you get to like first layer search. You get to people going, "Hey, that's none of our business," which is like hilarious to me, because that's the kind of stuff that people used to say about my favorite artists when I was your guys' age. So like, girls your age have never stopped saying that about bands they love. It's like none of your business, even though it's like, I'd really love to know, but I'm not.
Well, I think too, it stems from, I mean, I know like other like American artists too, it's the same thing, but over in Korea, a lot of like if one of the idols like is dating somebody, they a whole bunch of their fans will like just like drop them and like run away or like become anti-fans or go after the person that they are dating. So it's kind of like they're in a way fearing for their safety. That's why a lot of them, they don't say, "Oh, I'm dating so and so," until it gets really serious.
It's interesting with fans though, because on the one hand, they want to picture the person single, but then on the other hand, once they get used to a couple, like they don't want them to break up. Like now they're in love with the couple.
Yeah.
Like we ship people because we want to see them together.
Yeah.
But just not your absolute favorite. He needs to stay available.
I'm a little bit upset still. One of my favorite groups, he got married. One of the guys got married. He's not my favorite group. Or not my favorite member, but I'm just a little bit jealous. Even though I don't like him, I'm just like, now the group is a little bit different, but I have to support it.
Yeah, and
So-
also
Yeah, it stings.
now that we're like on the topic of personal lives, I think just that in Korea and like the K-pop industry, there's kind of the companies kind of control and manage certain things. So relationships and stuff, it's kind of, you don't like really ask about that, and not too many of them are in relationships.
And like you kind of have to get permission from the CEO, like if you want to date somebody. Like, and then a lot of the times on their contract, it'll say like no dating for the first 5 years.
Wow.
Because
Tara's just like not joining.
I guess if they're trying to like maintain the image of these like
they're trying to
available
keep
guys,
them like pure too.
Yeah.
Like make this like
they love
pure
only
image.
you, the audience member.
Yeah.
And they also don't want to get yokoed, if you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah.
you get like, no, honestly, because like once you're devoted to a romantic partner, that person can put ideas in your head about revolt.
That's a myth, actually. The Yoko Ono did not break up the Beatles.
She so did.
No, it's not true.
My mom
She's-
would argue.
Creative differences and other things. But
Yes, it was a lot of different things, but like she was at every recording session. Like you don't have to have
She had some input in it.
your wife at work with you. We'll talk about it. That's another show.
Yeah, that's another
Yeah.
podcast.
Beatles superfan show. Do you hear about what the guys aspire to beyond the band? Like, do they talk about that? Like, once the band is done and they're into the next phase
Is there
of
an
their
end
lives?
date to the band?
Well,
I don't
actually,
know. Like, how does it all
think
work?
and correct me if I'm wrong, I think they're planning to do this for a really long time.
Yeah, because I mean their contracts they last usually on average about 4 to 5 years, and then that's when they give the idols an option to renew it if they want to continue. But they said that they want to continue until like they're old.
Yeah.
So it all depends on, I guess, what's going on in their life at that moment. But as of right now, they said that they want to continue.
Question, because you said it's 3 rappers and 4 vocalists, so they don't each do everything on one song. Like they all, it's just like a group collective, like the rapping group of like Lil Wayne's group, right? Like they all can like go and do different things, or are they on every single song all the time? How does that work?
Not every single song, because there are songs that are vocalist only, but a majority, and then rappers only, but a majority of it is everybody put together. Like they'll input some sort of rapping.
7 people in one song?
And then some of the rappers, they do sing too, so that kind of balances it out a little bit.
I was gonna say, like, they can also like the 3 rappers, they have their own personal mixtape outside of the band. So if they really want to, if they really want to, they can, just have their own personal solo album where it's just them.
Do they all have solo albums or just the 3 rappers?
No, just the 3 rappers so far.
So Rita, you're here to talk to us about song lyrics and topics. BTS is into big themes and concepts. From where do they pull their inspiration?
They pull their inspiration from a lot of places. I like to think that they pull their inspiration from society, criticizing society, but also a lot of it comes from their own lives. And also 2 really big inspirations for 2 of their albums, like for Wings, their inspiration was this book called Damien, something like that. And then for their newest album, Love Yourself Tear, they were inspired by this book called Into the Magic Shop. But mainly they like to talk a lot of their songs. They talk about their own personal lives and their own personal experiences. And like, for instance, they'll talk about like the 2 rappers, RM and Suga. Sometimes they'll talk about before BTS, they were underground rappers. And since they became a part of this idol group, a lot of rappers do not have respect for them and think that they're not legitimate, or make fun of them, think they're like kind of selling their souls in a way.
Like that stigma between like idol rapper and then regular underground rapper. And then a lot of times when the underground rapper becomes an idol rapper, sometimes the people that are a fan of the underground music feel like disowned. Like, how could you like join mainstream society, like mainstream music?
Yeah, so the rappers, especially those 2, they'll address how they aren't respected in that. So that's like an example of how they use their own personal lives and put into their music.
Does their music and their lyrics compel you to read more and learn more about the topics?
For I Need You and Run, I did, but I couldn't keep up with their newest music videos, because their music videos do have like imagery relating to that, but it's hard to like do all that research. But I did at one point, and I did learn a lot from it.
And what about learning Korean? Does it inspire you to learn Korean?
A little bit. Sometimes you pick it up.
Yeah, sometimes like you'll hear a word so much, and then you'll realize what it means. Like, I know some words. Like, if someone's speaking, I can somewhat I make sense of the sentence by hearing just certain words. I can't, like, I'm not fluent, but I can read it and I can write it.
Oh, you understand the alphabet?
Yeah, I know the pronunciation.
Wow.
But I'm not I can't have a conversation, like a full like length conversation. I just know like a little bit basics, but I'm not the best.
And also, I just want to bring it back to like what it made. I have done like little research as if, like for instance, a certain song, like you wouldn't really understand the meaning unless you like did a little bit of research on it. So like for instance, they have this one song on Love Yourself Tear, their newest album, called 134340, and it's like this number for that for Pluto or something like that, and like you wouldn't get. And I think Pluto, like in the song, they're trying to like trying to talk about like loneliness and everything, and being kind of like the outcast and everything.
Like you're not really a planet anymore.
Yeah, exactly. And like I wouldn't
Shut
have
up, Neptune. What are you?
Yeah, exactly. Like I wouldn't have picked up on that if I didn't look up. Oh, what does 134340 mean? Or like another song, Anpanman. I didn't know what that meant at first, but apparently it's like this Japanese comic book character, and what it is, it's a superhero where its face is made out of bread. And the whole concept of the superhero is that like it takes parts of its face and like gives it to people to help them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then like there's also the slang that's involved in the songs too, where you kind of have to know what that means in order to really fully understand that song. Like "jaro," it's a slang in for like one of their songs. It's, in English it's dope, but it doesn't really mean dope. But the closest equivalent is dope, and not like you kind of had to know what that means in order to kind of understand that song. And that song's kind of like about like, oh, you know, you can say all these bad things about me, but at the end I'm still on top. Kind of like my life is like jara, like dope. Kind of thing. Did I describe that song correctly?
Yes.
Okay.
And what other themes have they explored that are socially relevant?
Like in their first album, they'll talk a lot about the struggles of being an adolescent. I mean, that just goes for all their albums. They'll really talk about and discuss like the struggles of being an adolescent, and you know, and also like in Korea, like for instance, their song "No," it like addresses the issues of like the pressure that you have in school. Like it's just about like, you know, you go to school, and the expectation in Korea and like America around the world is just like go to school, get a job, get married, and you're done, be stable.
I actually found out that the NO in no recently stood for no offense. Like don't be offended by me because I'm not being your like stereotype.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was New Orleans, but I wasn't there.
Yeah, and they'll also address. I really like their songs that they describe about like loneliness, because I really relate to that. That sounds really sad on my part, but
Yeah, me too.
Oh no, a lot of people do.
Yeah, exactly. So like a lot of people can relate to that, and like for instance, their one song Whalien 52, and actually some information on that Whalien 52, like the meaning behind it. So there's this whale, and it has a low frequency of 52 hertz. So it has such a low frequency is that it just like travels around and is very lonely because it has such a low frequency. Other whales cannot hear it.
Wow.
So there's a lot of meaning behind the song, and they kind of compare themselves to the whale, and you can also like relate to the fact that like, oh yeah, I feel like this whale, like nobody hears me. And then like in the song, it like encourages you to keep speaking up and keep being yourself, even if people can't hear you at first. Like maybe eventually someone will.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's really cool. All right, let's talk about the videos, their YouTube channel, and we're going to give it to Faith. Please explain their YouTube channel. And
I think they're one of the first, like, or only, well, I think GOT7 does it too, but they're like one of the only groups that has like their own YouTube channel where they're constantly bringing out content for their fans so that they can kind of see what their life is like when they're not performing or when they're getting ready to perform. It's just like some of them can be like 10 seconds, some of them can be like 10 minutes. It's just like kind of like snippets into their life, so that's why fans feel really connected to them as well. It'd be through that.
And they have a series, right?
That's on V Live. They have a series on V Live where it's called Run BTS, and it's just almost like their own like little variety show. And then they also do like live videos too for their fans, so that they like can connect with their fans a little bit more. And also on V Live, there is a thing called Channel Plus, where it's a paid for thing where you get exclusive videos, and sometimes there's like a chat where the group members will go on and chat with their fans for a little bit. So that's how they like really connect with their fans, through like the social media and the YouTube, the V Live, and also like Twitter and all that stuff.
So you have curated a few videos for us to give us an example of what they are like while performing. We have No More Dream.
That's their debut.
Bulletproof. This is from 2013.
Yeah,
so
this is their first performance.
Where were they?
In Korea.
Okay.
To all the youngsters without dreams.
How old are they here?
About 14 to 19. The oldest one is 21 here, I believe.
That's Jin.
Yes. And then Jungkook is 14.
He's the youngest. All right, thank you. And then we have the Artist of the Year video.
Mama, it stands for Mnet Asian Music Awards. It's almost like the Grammys for not just Korea but Asia as a whole. And they, throughout like their whole career, they always wanted to win, you know, the Artist of the Year award. And this video is very like is one of like the most emotional videos for their fans because it shows how much their fans are dedicated to them, that endless voting to make them like win and get this award, and through that I think kind of gave them their encouragement just to keep going forward.
Hotels Combined Artist of the Year.
네, 수상자는 방탄소년단.
That is the coolest envelope
It really is.
I've ever
right?
seen.
Yeah, that was
This
quite the
pop-up
build-up.
envelope, and boy, she knew how to
they
play
didn't,
that.
they didn't know that they were gonna win it too.
What does she call them? 'Cause
방탄소년단,
Oh, okay.
That means Bangtan Boys?
a bulletproof Boy Scouts.
Right,
The
right,
literal
right.
the literal translation. Yeah.
Congratulations. That was exciting. And then we have Boy Meets Evil, Blood, Sweat, and Tears. You know
No,
that
yeah,
one,
yeah.
man?
That is the same year that they won their award. That they're with this performance.
Yeah, it
No,
looks like
it's
the
what
same
year?
graphic from the same night. This would have been what year, babe?
2016. Around that.
My scene was not specifically this or that, but
Yeah, they prepare like all year to make the best stages for
Yeah.
Mama, like all these different groups.
We have that show here. It's called Cirque du
the devil
Soleil.
helped me in these clutches. The enemy was behind me.
This performance right here, it's really to showcase the two dancers.
And who's that?
That's J-Hope. And then Jimin will be the one wearing the blindfold.
Okay. Ooh, that's dangerous.
I think it's supposed to be like heaven and hell or something like that.
Okay, and then we have the Mama in Hong Kong mic drop event.
Yeah, that is their 2017 performance, which is I chose that because it's neat. Like with the other, like it's just a major end of the year awards. Like it'll have like the best stages.
Do they win?
Yeah, they win, and through this performance, they also show their journey, like from winning to going to billboards to now.
So they were just on billboards, right?
Oh yeah.
This is in December, and then Billboards was in May, so yeah, it was like right after. Because I don't think they did any like major performances in the middle of it.
Very, very cool. And so you've explained V Live. Now, is BTS the biggest thing on V Live, or do a lot of different artists have accounts on V Live?
They are the most subscribed on V Live, but there are other artists that do have V Live that do like the same thing. There's only a handful that has the paid for content. But like they not just Korean artists either. There's a Vietnamese artist, Chinese artist, and I think Taiwanese artists. I mean, they speak the same language though. But yeah, it's not just for Korean artists. It did start off that way, but yeah, they're not the only ones that have it. But they are the most subscribed.
Is it a Korean company?
Yeah, I believe it's owned by Naver. Is it owned by Naver? I think something
Possibly.
like that.
Is it easy for you guys to get translations for everything they're saying or everything that you see written in Korean?
On VLive, it is.
Or just across the internet in general?
Yeah, there's actually like dedicated blogs to translations. The translations, sometimes they come out like within the first minute that they tweet out something. For the YouTube videos, it takes about 2 to 3 days for the translations, but it's quite easy to gain access. I remember when I first got into the music back a long time ago, I had to wait like months and months for translated content. So now I feel like the younger or the newer people, the newer fans have it easy, but yeah, there's translations available within about next day after something's released.
And is it that all fans generating that so that they're quickly sharing content and sharing information?
Some of it, yeah, but you have on their music videos, their company provides the English on it, and then also VLive. Sometimes it's fans that translate it, and then sometimes it's actually the company that translates it because they're starting to realize that more and more English speakers are watching their content.
Are you guys making friends around the world with other BTS fans?
Yeah, actually, I go to college at Columbia College Chicago, so there's actually a K-pop fan club, so I've met a lot of people there. And since I became a fan back, I'm fairly new. I became a fan in November 2017, so I've only like met people in Chicago. But now that I'm back in California, I'm trying to introduce more people to it, and I think it just like creates a really nice bond between people who are not just K-pop fans, but like BTS fans or certain groups and everything.
So what did you bring? You brought us some show and tell.
Yes, I brought light sticks and the album that made them famous and their most recent album.
Should we do? Let's save the light sticks for the end of the show because we can dim the lights and like go out on some sort of like
first.
Yeah, sure.
Extravaganza.
Okay, so they come in. There's 4 different versions. She has.
What are these?
They're their albums.
Wow.
And I have W and I, and then she has N and G, and the pictures are different. And fun fact, if you put all of them together, they create a pattern.
Can we do that?
Yeah.
Wait, from the back?
No, from the front.
Oh, in the front, okay.
Wait, do we need a big table?
I
can
see.
put it-
Oh.
I can hold it up, I guess.
So I have ING and you have W and I.
I'll try to
Wait,
hold
are
it.
we decoding the universe?
Okay. Let's see. Which way does it go?
That one goes behind.
Because this one is confusing sometimes. I have to. It's like a puzzle.
Yeah, this is definitely crime-solving Da Vinci Code.
Let's see. Wait, which way? Yeah. So I'll just show 2 at a time. So, oh, you have it up. Okay. Yeah, it creates a pattern.
Whoa.
Are you supposed to say what you see in there and then it determines your personality?
No, it just.
I think I see my parents kissing.
Yeah, and then they have photo cards. Each album, they have a photo card, which is basically like a thing of each member. Like, for instance, this one is J-Hope.
Oh, I was going to say, you got Ed Sheeran.
And then they have their signature. I think there's 2 Jins, or 2 Vs. So you and I will both pull out a V.
Ooh, do people trade and collect?
They do trade, but I don't do that. Yeah.
So you don't know what you're going to get?
No, you never do.
Excitement.
And then there's signatures in the back.
Did they really sign it?
No, but it's just photocopies. So yeah, I got 2 of him.
Oh.
And then the pictures are different in the albums.
How fun.
Like this. It's they're not all the same. And then also the same thing with the smoke pattern is on the front is also the same on the CD, which you can put the CDs all together.
So who still has a CD player?
Me.
Anyone? Do people get this just because they want to collect, but they really just download the music anyway?
I do. I actually don't buy the album or the stuff on iTunes. I actually will buy the album because my aux cord is broken, so the only way for me to listen to music in the car is through a CD.
But most people use, what do you use to listen to music, Aaron?
Just
Spotify?
Yeah, I use Spotify as well.
But you still would buy it just to have it?
It's some people, they're into collecting the albums. Some people aren't. Like my friend, she also likes BTS, but she said that she doesn't need the albums. Me, I just got so accustomed to getting the albums that I'll pre-order them like months in advance.
Yeah, like it's just really nice, like because with a lot of American artists, you
It's
just get
just
the
a plastic,
CD, yeah,
the
and,
plastic
like,
case,
exactly.
and then this is their
But this is like a whole lot.
and this is their
Yeah.
newest
the photo
album.
cards and
I feel
the
like
lyrics and
K-pop
everything.
is like so creative. Like they
Yeah,
take
yeah.
creativity to a whole nother level within the music world. Like not saying that America's not, but just like they just legitimately take
Well,
it to a whole different level.
Everything about their presentation, from their dance and their choreography to what you're showing me with this packaging, it's like they're really interested in
they
something
really,
beautiful.
They really pay attention to detail too. Like this goes together on the bottom, the flower pattern, and then also when you open it, there is a pattern on the CDs that will coincide with everything, and then you also get a photo card in this. But this one, you get it's the notes for their series, which I can't understand. I can't translate it for you. I apologize for
There's
that.
probably an app where you could take a picture of that with
No,
your
there is.
phone, and then
then
you could
Translate it.
Yeah.
And then there's also now they're implementing standees.
What?
So I haven't opened it up because I don't want to.
Wow.
And then also there's photo cards now. I put mine in a bag because I don't want it to get messed up.
May I ask a personal question? How much did this run you? You don't have to answer.
$109
In total?
for all four
It
of them.
looks like it's worth it.
And then for both of them. But I have spent. I'd say I can put a down payment on a car for as much money as I spent on K-pop.
Wow. Do you buy this stuff like in American stores, or do you mostly order it online?
I order it on an American store online. It's actually in K-Town, so I will pre-order certain things, but I will also go to the physical store. It's called Music Plaza. That's one of the places that I do frequent a lot, and they know me so much that.
We have a really good K-Town here in Los Angeles, so highly recommend it. I really wanted to know what it's like to be a member of this band, so for that information, of course, I went to Rolling Stone magazine. Have you guys read the article?
Don't
believe I have.
Oh, you should. It's
I
good.
think I did.
In the article, it says the band's mission is to promote individuality, which isn't always encouraged back home, especially in Korea. There are all these standards: get married, go to a nice university, etc., etc. So it's interesting that the group is very much promoting individuality. They are leading by example, having broken out of the K-pop mold. But how much of an individual life do you get to lead inside the image of any carefully crafted pop music sensation group, be it Korean or American or whatever? Do you guys wonder that out loud or online with each other? Like, how much downtime do they get? Or do you just sort of accept that they signed up for this and so this is what this is?
Well, part of it, I'm like, I feel like, I know I'm going to sound mean when I say this, but part of it, they shouldn't complain too much because K-pop has been around for like over 20 years. So it's like they kind of should know what they're getting themselves into in a way. But there are cases where the companies do treat the artists very unfair. And that's when I feel like they should speak out. But I think BTS, they don't really complain about, like not having that many like friends that often, like, because they're like, well, we just have each other. Because when you are an idol, you can't really go out. Like, basically, your company tells you what to wear, what to do, when to do it, how to do it, all that stuff. So basically, in a way, they are manufactured, but BTS does have the creativity, like for individuality right there to make their own songs. Like, they're not told what kind of songs to make. And that's what I feel like they have the most freedom in.
Let me ask you this question. Do South Korean kids grow up aspiring to this? Is this a dream that everyone dances in front of the mirror hoping that one day I can audition for K-pop?
I would say now, yes, because actually K-pop is one of the #1 exports in Korea. And that is, besides from being a doctor, that's the next best way to make money for them. Because it's either, you look pretty, then you can become a singer, or if not, if you're ugly, but you still want to be in front of the camera, then you'll become a comedian.
That's what happened to me.
Yeah, and then, if not, you're a doctor or a teacher. Like, there's no
question.
in between.
Has anyone come out the other side of this and said, like, at age 37, that was a grind?
There are some, actually. It was in a group called TVXQ. There's a few members that did leave. Now, they were in SM, and that was in the early 2000s. they did leave their company, and they did say that it wasn't like they weren't being like treated like fair, and there was like no freedom that they had. And one of the issues with that was they were banned from being on any music shows. Like the SM paid all these shows to like don't have them perform on these shows, like don't do this, don't do that. So they had to create their own company and then just kind of be by themselves and only rely on their fans.
So severe penalty for early withdrawal. You get like you can leave the sorority, but you won't have any friends.
In a way, yeah, because there was this other group, Block B, that they were having issues with their company, but they said that, you know, they weren't going to be able to make their own company. But what had happened was their CEO committed suicide. So through that, they took that to the advantage to continue performing. But if he didn't, they would not be here to this day.
Yeah, there's
Like,
a big issue with K-pop idols, especially with mental health.
Yeah.
Like recently, I don't know what happened, but
Jonghyun
from Shiny,
he killed himself recently.
Yeah, and it's not too completely uncommon, unfortunately. Like there have been incidents in the past.
Yeah, and too, mental health in Asia is like still like a taboo. They don't believe in mental health, like going to like doctors, like, oh, for instance, oh, if you're depressed, oh, you're not eating right, or do this,
Be stronger.
you know, go make more friends. It's like they don't really believe in that. And even Jonghyun in his note, he was saying that the doctor wouldn't take him seriously. He just, oh, go take a nap and then you'll wake up happy. And that didn't happen.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of companies or a lot of CEOs or managers are not like BTS's manager, where they'll give them the freedom to write their own songs or to be more open about their personal lives. Like, I think we're gonna talk about this later, but they came out with the documentary series "Burn the Stage," where they got really personal. About their lives.
There was a lot of crying there. I couldn't watch it.
Yeah, because typically the extent of like showing your personal life or how your personality is just like going on variety shows, really. But they like really took the step forward and are trying to get rid of these stereotypes and trying to lead the way for other K-pop idols.
So we like their manager. He's letting them really have some personal expression.
Yeah, I mean, of course, it's. I mean, there are certain standards and expectations in the industry, but he's really like trying to take the lead and trying to change that.
Yeah, and then too, I mean, like she said, he's trying to like change like the K-pop industry, but I will say that we don't really know what goes on in their company behind closed doors. We don't know if they're like, if it not just them, but any K-pop idol is just being forced into doing this. Like, we don't know if they want to take a break, but they're like, no, you're gonna create a new album to beat your old record. Like, we don't really know that.
So my question is, if the government is investing money in K-pop, then a lot of their image on the international stage is dependent upon the performance of these kids, and so it's like government infused that even the managers of these kids would not want to let the government down.
Yeah,
by saying, oh, we need to take a break.
Because it's like it's kind of almost like, you're representing Korea.
Right.
Don't like any mess up that you make is going to make Korea look bad. Like any controversy, it's like, oh, I can't believe you just did that. Now you just like let your entire country down. It's kind of like that.
But on the flip, you could say that they could be showing or leading by example that we understand these kids are humans. They need to have a personal life. They need to take a nap. And we, South Korea, understand that people are human and that you have to listen to them so that everybody can be the best emotionally healthy people who giving back to the world as possible. And that only happens when you really listen to people and don't expect them to behave like machines. They're not machines.
I think it's like changing a little bit now because before it wasn't. But I think they're realizing that, that they need their space because they're gonna like break down. They're gonna like actually Jimin has fainted on stage a lot due to exhaustion. So it's like I think they're starting to realize that different idols, like not just BTS but other groups, they need to take a rest. Like,
yeah, and Jimin, he has been known to have a very strict diet on himself, and the other members as well, especially in their trainee days when they were first starting, they had very strict diets. And sometimes it's like, most of the time it's because of the company or but sometimes it's also like societal pressures and body image body image expectations in Korea and
It's
everything.
like either be really skinny or have muscle really over there.
So it can happen a lot, and it's pretty common with other groups as well, unfortunately.
Yeah, the expectations are just unattainable.
And then some of the idols will even go to the extent to get plastic surgery so that they fit the image.
Mm-hmm.
And they are one of the biggest plastic surgery capitals of the world too.
South Korea?
Mm-hmm.
What kind of work do people feel like they need to have done?
A lot of the times it's higher nose bridge, smaller nose, double eyelids. Sometimes they'll change their jaw to make it, because what they like is a V jaw where it's really skinny, like no chin, kind of like really skinny chin. And a lot of times they'll take pictures like this to mask their jaw, because in their head, like having a round head or an oval head is not perfect. You need
So I'm going to say something controversial. That just popped into my head. Is it possible that in a country where basically everybody is culturally the same, there might be like one ideal, whereas in a country like America, where we have a melting pot of different types of faces and different types of ethnicities, there's hundreds of thousands of different ways of being attractive. You can have an Irish face like Tara and be adorable. You can have an Asian face like you and be adorable. But like in South Korea, where everyone is ethnically the same, is there only then one ideal?
Yeah, and actually it did create a little bit of controversy because Miss Korea, all of the Miss Koreas ended up having the same looking face. And there is this face called the Gangnam Face, where basically all these girls, they kind of look fake in a way. Like big eyes, small nose, small lips. They kind of want to look like a doll. So the whole country is kind of starting to look that way. And even some idols will like want to have that look. But every so many years it changes, but as a whole they all want to kind of like look the same.
Do you think that's true of like people our age as well? Like are they kind of embracing this kind of specific ideal, or are they resisting it more now that there's like more multiplicity of ideas, especially like with BTS seeming to have talking about a lot of different issues?
I think in a way they're inspiring other people to, be individual, where it's like you don't have to look like everybody else kind of thing. Like love yourself, that can mean a bunch of things. But there are still like there's this Korean show called Hello Counselor, where they talk about problems, and a lot of the problems are, I want plastic surgery, I think I'm ugly, all this and all that, and then they're not really like ugly people, but it's just because their face doesn't fall under the Korean standard. So it's changing a little bit, but it's still very much ingrained, not only just like in the older people, but just in their culture as a whole. Because Koreans are known for wanting to look the best, no matter what.
Striving for perfection.
They're very materialistic. Like, I want the best clothes, I want the best face, like as a whole. I'm not saying all of them are like that.
Oof.
All right, that's really interesting, and we'll probably talk about this forever, but I want to move on because Nikki Rose, who it turns out lives in Massachusetts, shout out to Nikki because she did a ton of work for the show. She curated some fan art, memes, and fan-created sites for us, because I guess a lot of people are expressing their BTS love artistically and creatively online and sharing it with one another. So what are we looking at now, Lane?
This is some of the fan art.
Okay, some of the fan art?
Yep.
That's really cool. Just click around on the different links that
Yep. And then there's some on
Pinterest.
Yep.
Are you guys artistic?
Little bit. I mean, I drew Ratmon and Suga once, but my mom said it was good, but I didn't like it, so I threw it away.
Yeah, I'll doodle. I just don't post it on the internet.
My issue is I'll create something, everybody likes it, but I don't like it, so I take it down and I just throw it away.
But you can do things. People can do things like montages or play around with photographs. You don't have to always draw. You can sculpt.
Ooh. I tried doing that, but then I didn't like it.
Yeah, it's really hard because when you see stuff like this, it's really, really good. It's
I know,
really hard
and it discourages me.
My thing is I compare my art to other people's art when I shouldn't do that, because all of my family, like my mom, my sister, my brother, they're all really good at art, and my brother he actually helped create this one animated short. But my brother also has the same issue as me, where we will compare our art to others, and I shouldn't do that, because both my sister, my brother, my mom, we all, and my dad even as a hairdresser, they express art in different ways, but we all kind of have the self-hatred, which we really shouldn't, because
Isn't that the same as comparing your face to others?
Yeah.
Finding
But
problems.
it's like,
there's no perfection. Let's just forget about that concept.
I definitely would share my art, but it's just my issue.
All right, we're going to work on that. 20 memes only BTS fans will understand. And I know I'm going to challenge you. We'll see if you guys
might
can
not
help me.
understand all of them.
I know, but
Let's
if
see.
you don't, that's fine.
See, I'm not a big fan,
When
but I understand this
BTS
one.
moves into
exactly.
$7 million apartment, money. What is that?
Okay, so who are we looking at? And is
That
it
was
that
Jungkook.
they never get to see the money? Is that it?
It's basically like BTS curated all this money. I'm guessing that they can live in a $7 million apartment, and meanwhile everybody else are like, yeah, I cannot afford anything near that.
Okay, got it. Okay, here we have Jin.
Okay, yeah. So for this one, Jin, he's like known. He has like a nickname called Worldwide Handsome, and he'll go around on interviews and he'll joke around. He's like, "I'm Worldwide Handsome," and actually, in K-pop groups, there's people who are known to have the job, not the
As a
job,
visual.
but, as
The
the
looker.
visual. Yeah, so
the most attractive one. Like, they'll rank them, and
So Jin is supposed to be the most attractive one?
Yeah, so
Yes.
whenever anyone else is like, "No, I'm the
it's kinda
visual.
like
I'm the most
you're
attractive."
taking my job.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Good. Next. Go ahead, Tara. Read it.
A fanboy screamed, "I love you" so loud and say his name.
Jungkook.
Replied to him to, "Aw."
It's basically because there's not many male fans, so when the male fans usually get the most attention.
I love you. I'm just going to go to their concerts and be like, I love you. 'Cause now I know they like it.
Yeah.
All right. What else we got? Go ahead, Aaron.
How many of those are you eating? 10. Shut the fuck up. I don't need your judge.
It's because Jin has a show on V Live called Eat Jin, where it's basically an eating show. A mukbang is what it's called.
Oh, cool. And what do we got? Tara, can you see that?
I can't.
I feel like what happened here was like suddenly they played the wrong cue, and mid-dance he realized, I do not know where we are. Is that what happened?
I have no idea.
That's a good
So it's basically like
Oh wait.
So the caption
Oh,
says,
I get it.
when the playlist shuffles from Cypher Part 2 and Cypher Part 3 to just one day.
Because Cypher Part 2 and 3, and
They're
there's
like
a fourth
heavy
one.
rapper songs,
And then just one day is like
It's
a
very calm.
soft.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
a love
He's
song.
just like,
Yeah, it's a
"What's
soft
happening?"
ballad.
I love that. All right. We'll play one more and then we'll move on. Oh, this is cute.
When the armies try to drag others into their fandom.
I kind
Are
of
you guys guilty of that?
borderline did that to my friend, but she liked the group in the beginning, but she just didn't have a favorite member. So I kind of would joke around with her. I would tell her, "Oh, Ratmon's your boyfriend. Ratmon's your boyfriend," and then within the third week, I kind of knew that she had a crush on him. But it took her 3 months to admit it, and I'm like, "Girl, I already knew." That's why I kept it up. But I kind of forced her into liking him.
Yeah, I wouldn't like to use the word force. I'll just
I didn't force.
introduce it.
I just kept telling her, "He's your boyfriend.
Yeah.
He's your boyfriend. Like if you had to marry one person, I would make you marry, or I would choose him for you to marry and stuff." And then she ended up liking him.
Yeah, I've been trying to like gradually one
like,
by one introduce BTS
I
or
think,
K-pop in
though,
general to my
with
friends.
certain people, they have to already have like a liking to a certain type of person. Because I tried doing that with my other friend, who's also mixed, like me, but she does not like them at all. Like nothing K-pop is.
You guys are like that musical Seven Brides for Seven Brothers, where you have to like marry all 7 of them off for some reason.
I've seen. I know what you're talking about. I've seen that.
Yeah, they should make a version of that. That'd be so great, right?
There's like a Chinese dating
BTS
show
in
like that.
7 Brides for 7
Oh, there's going to be a
Idols.
lot of competition there.
teen idols. I know, right? All right, so we're gonna do what's Twitter trending. Because they all share the same Twitter account.
Yeah.
Which was one of the things that kind of made me worry about their like individuality. Do they get to have any individual social media?
There was a rumor that J-Hope had his own Twitter because he took a screenshot of their Twitter and it didn't say that he was following the group or that it was like on his group. So there is rumors that they have like their own Instagram, because some people see like their Instagram app on their phone and they only have a group Instagram that's run by their company. So there is rumors that they do have their own, and I wouldn't doubt that they do have their own private.
We should put Donald Trump in a boy band, and then he won't be able to tweet individually. All right, so let's go see what they tweeted today. What's their pin tweet?
Yeah, it's actually for their anniversary. Because
so how old are they all now? Between like 20 and 26?
They're about the youngest one. I think he's 20.
He's 20. Jungkook is 20, and then the oldest is 27.
Yeah, they're almost military age. Because each man in South Korea has to enlist in the army.
Do they have to?
Unless they get exempt for health reasons, they do have to.
I think they should get. I think that.
Wait, do they get exempt?
Jimin is exempt. Jimin is exempt for
they
fainting.
They have to. No matter how rich you are, like there's this one idol, G Dragon, who is one of the richest idols in Korea and one of the most known. He's a active duty soldier right now because you have to.
So what's going to happen?
Yeah, are the fans devastated?
The fans are, but they're like, well, we're gonna wait for you because it's only 22 months.
Aww.
So it's not that long if you think about it. But it's only 22 months, but they all have to unless they have major health issues like cancer or they can't see.
We made Elvis
And do they
go.
all have to?
Elvis
like
had to
every
go.
single person has to, or is it's kind of like the drawing?
They should
They
get
do
bone
get
spurs
drawing,
like
but
Donald Trump.
They do get called, but each man in South Korea has to be part of some sort of branch.
Maybe they could like rotate them out so that they're not all gone at the same time.
Do they get like the cushy positions like galley cook or something, or do they get put in like active?
It depends. So they have to go through the boot camp first, which is about 6 weeks, and then through that they can choose to be a community worker, which a lot of them do, but a lot of them get backlash from Korea because they're like, you're not serving your country. And some of them can have desk jobs. It basically all determines where they're going to be placed, how, like, if there's any room, and if the country deems you like you can fight, you can if anything happens, you can be the first one to go out and fight.
What's the age they have to be for military?
28 to 32, they have to enlist.
I think that boot camp is going to seem really easy to them compared to what they've already been through.
Yeah.
So they're all gonna have to. So like the oldest member in like a year or two, he's gonna have to go away for 2 years.
So what happens to the group at that point? Do they continue
they can
without
still
him?
perform without the certain without certain members. They can still perform. There are some groups though that do say, because you can enroll to enlist early. So there are some groups that enlist all together just so that they come out, or like all around the same time. So they all come out around the same time. Like for instance, Big Bang. They're old now, so they all went into the military. Well, one member's out of it. So they all kind of enlisted around the same time. So they're all going to come out around like late 2019. And then the youngest one is going to go in by the end of this year. So he's out by 2020. So the group, there's still a lot of the members left. So it's not all like, one person's going to be left. Well, actually right now it is, but that's kind of, I guess, how I can explain it.
So what are some of the most popular BTS hashtags? What hashtags can we click on to see what people are talking about?
Just, I guess, them.
Just BTS?
Yeah, BTS.
Not BTS Army or
well,
BTS?
Well, then again, though, BTS is kind of like iffy to me because, you have the group and then it also stands for behind the scenes. So you have like people that, this is my BTS shot for my photo shoot, which I think that also helped make it really popular.
So what are some other good, when you tweet about BTS, what hashtags would you guys use?
I just use BTS.
Okay, let's
BTS
try. Let's try
Army.
it and see what's there. Hashtag BTS. BTS Army.
Yeah, see, BTS Army is
because aren't they celebrating their 5th anniversary?
Yeah, around that. Yeah, that's why it's trending right now.
Also, what are people talking about? Wishing them a happy anniversary?
Yeah.
Because their anniversary is tomorrow, June 13th. 2013.
I mean, over there, it already passed, but yeah, June 13th.
All right, let's jump into Facebook feed time. And we have an official BTS page. Have you guys been there on Facebook?
I have.
The official BTS page. There's a lot going on that I wanted to share with you guys because now I know a thing or two about BTS. So scroll down. The second post intrigues me. It is a user guide. And do you guys want to explain what's going on here? Like, this is really, really clever.
I'm guessing that has something to do with, because when they have their festas, they have like a fan meeting kind of concert to celebrate, and I'm guessing that has something to do with what's going to happen at the concert.
All right, so go ahead and scroll through. It's each member, and I think it's showing you sort of his height and.
Oh, like the proportions to one another?
I'm not sure
just
what
click
that is.
on the right here arrow. Yeah, click right there.
Oh, that every year they like write a self. They have different member. So first they'll write a self, or I think first the different members will write a self profile for each member, and then after that, then the member will go in and correct themselves. And then they also have like feed.
That's adorable.
Like it's like draw this. What is their like blood type kind of thing.
Mm-hmm. So there's Jungkook and J-Hope. So who did those drawings? I love them.
I think it says their name, but
They did
it's
them?
too small for me to read it.
Okay.
J-Hope.
I don't think that I think Jungkook did that because I'm guessing by the art style. I'm not positive though.
Oh, so like the bigger text is who it's the picture of, and then you can see smaller
Yeah,
it says
so
Jungkook.
Jungkook tried this one, and I think like the red is what he guessed, and then the green is like the correct proportion.
Oh, I see. So the paper has been corrected.
Oh, they're short.
Okay.
I didn't mean that in a mean way.
Oh, who's that?
J-Hope drew Ratmon.
Oh, that's so cute.
He doesn't usually wear glasses.
Yeah, he doesn't see, or he can't see.
He can't see.
I mean, obviously not
The
on
one with
stage
blindfold
'cause
on.
Yeah.
they're dancing. And that wouldn't
This
work.
is so cute.
I think
love
Jin
this.
drew that.
RM drew.
Oh,
Jimin.
RM.
Jimin. All right. So, are you guys ready for our light show?
Oh,
we're gonna dim the lights.
yeah,
Is there
yeah.
anything that we want to talk about before we go? Do you guys want to ask me who my favorite is?
Who's your favorite?
J-Hope.
J-Hope.
A lot of people
Yeah.
like him.
He's cute.
He's a positive guy.
I just like his
No.
messages. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. I want to thank Rita for being here, and Faith. Is there anything you want us to plug or talk about? People should check out.
Listen to Love Yourself Tear. It's a bop.
And I would say don't just watch BTS. Try to explore all of the different groups, because each group, because like there are groups that are very similar to BTS, like BAP and Big Bang are you like a lot of people like them. But I would just say explore, because BTS might not be for you, but you might want to get into that kind of music and just explore. There's so much to explore. There's like ballad groups and bands that actually play like instruments and all that stuff. So it's really fun to explore if you really want to get into all this stuff.
Great advice. Dim the lights. Dina,
They have different
you guys
settings.
maybe
Hold it down.
want to get on the same camera.
I'm trying to.
Okay. Oh, should I go around?
Yeah, go over there. Sit between Tara. This is about to get lit. All right, here we go.
Oh, she moved for you. No, the batteries are dead on this one.
Oh no.
Oh no. What do they do?
So their light sticks is what the fans use when they cheer, almost like a glow stick.
Do we know any chants?
I don't know their fan cams. So
All right, just
they
wave
have
them around.
They have different settings too, like it's slow blinking,
Oh, I see.
and then this one's fast. That one has more settings than this one,
This is so much more fun than Disneyland.
and then it has one more
Yay!
setting.
Thanks for being with us.
One
I'm
more.
Louise
One
Planker.
more.
Thank you, Aaron Linker, John Maddox, Lane, and Dina, and Tara, Bianco. We love you, and we will see you next week.
Can
Goodbye,
I say
everybody.
something?
Of course.
Fun fact: Big Bang member G-Dragon invented the light stick.
Wow. That's like Mike Nesmith's mother invented whiteout. Goodbye, everybody.